Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss the question that was asked in today's bi-weekly challenge. This was the second question that was asked. The question is remove adjacent almost equal characters. Here what they are asking is given a string, check if the two characters that are adjacent to each other, check if we can remove one of them saying that either they both are equal or both of them are actually adjacent to each other. If any of these conditions are same or equal, then we can say that these are almost equal adjacent values, and we have to remove those adjacent values and add some other value to it or replace these character with something else. So it is asking that at the end of the day, how many characters do we have to replace so that the entire string satisfy this condition that none of the two adjacent values are either equal to each other or are adjacent to each other. Adjacent as in a b b c c d, such as that. So that was the condition. Okay, so here if we see a is there, here we actually have, we can see that these two characters are equal, so we can replace this a with something else. Let's say c, similar to this as well. We can replace it with anyone. It's not compulsory that just replace it with c. We can replace it with anyone, and we can see that in a minimum we have to replace two characters. That's why the answer is 2. Similar to this, here what we are doing, we are replacing this and we are replacing this. Once we are done replacing this, our answer will be 2, and so on. So let's see how it goes. So let's take this example. Okay, here a and b both were equal, right? So we had two options, either to replace a or to replace b, but we do not know as of now. So we incremented our count to 1, saying that we will be replacing one of these values. Fine. Then we checked whether b and d are same or not, or are they adjacent to each other. So it says no, so we are good. Now we check for dd, and again both of them were equal, so we increased the count to 2. Now the de came into the picture, so according to you it should have increased, right? Because these are adjacent to each other. But if we look into the string if we look into the string in such a way that DDE, if we are looking, then we can say that in the second run itself we could have just replaced this D with something else. Let's suppose O. This would have covered both the cases. If we replace this D with something else, then neither this will be true nor this will be true. So both of the condition will be satisfied at the same time. So that's why they are asking us a minimum one. That here we could have removed two values, but by using some logic or we can see that both of these conditions, both of for this D, from the left and right, both of them are causing issues. So why not just replace this value itself rather than replacing the right one or the left one? So that's where we have to use our mind. Okay, and that's why the 2 is there, and so on. So while I was solving this question in the challenge, or while the contest was going on, I went through this question, and what I realized was the main issue is that we can increase the count once we see similar values or we see adjacent values. We can increase the count, but the issue starts happening when this is true. Okay, I increase my count, but the next value is also true, or the next value is also causing the issue. In that case, we just have to increase our issue value by 1 and not by 2. We have to increase our count by 1 and not by 2. That's all we are doing. See what I'm doing, that whenever we discover an issue or whenever we discover two similar values or two almost equal values, we will increment our value by 1. But if we discover consecutive, my spelling is consecutive, I guess, but if two consecutive issues are there, then we do not need to do anything. Do not increment your issue. That's all I'm doing in this question. See, let's just discuss about this for loop as of now. What this if condition checks, whether my value and the previous value, are they both equal or are they adjacent to each other. If they are, that means this is one of the count or one of the issue or almost equal characters that we have discovered. So we will make our issue that is plus. My issue will be 1, and I'll also make consecutive issue as true. And I think we do not need this consecutive thing. I'll tell you the reason. Okay, let me remove everything up. Fine. So see, what I'm doing, I'm taking a middle value. See, I'm taking a middle value and I'm checking whether these two will cause the issue or whether these two will cause the issue. If both of them are causing issue, then we do not need to increment our issue second time. And I think we need to have this consecutive as well. The reason being, the reason being for the first we need to make sure that both of them are causing the issue, and the first one will return true only if we would have entered this if condition. So that's what we are checking. If there is any middle value, I'm checking whether the previous value is causing the issue and the next value is also causing the issue. If that's the case, then in the second time when the issues have actually occurred, I'm not incrementing my issue, rather I'm incrementing my I, so that we do not take this I again in the future. So I'll take this example, this one itself. So what happened, my I was initially this. Okay, so maybe I can use some diagram to explain this. Yeah, so our value is A, B, D, D, E, Z. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm starting from here. I'm not starting from here because I want to compare it with the previous and the next value. So I took B. I checked whether this previous value is almost equal to this or not. It said yes. So my issue or my count is currently 1. Fine. Then I checked whether the next value is also almost equal or not. It will say no. So in that case, nothing will happen. No I plus plus nothing. I'll just do my consecutive issue boolean value back to false, and I'll increment my I as it was incrementing. Now when I'm at D, correct? When I'm at D, I'll again check whether do I need to increment, are these values equal or not? So it says no, these are not equal. So once this is not equal, I'll not even check for this value. I'm waiting for a pair of 3. Through which I can increment my issue. Fine. So I'll go to this value. Now when I'm at here, I'll check, yes, this is causing issue. So my issue got increased by 2. Now my consecutive issue is also true at this point. That means I can also see that this is also a possible almost equal value. That means all the conditions inside this if condition are true. That means do not consider this as a different value. Do not consider these two as a different issue or a different count that we discovered. We know that the previous value is also causing issue and the next value is also causing issue. So we will just increment our issue once, and that is the middle one. In this case, what I'll do, I'll make sure that I do not go to this E. I will just directly go to this Z. I'll not go to this E, I'll directly go to the Z, and that's why I'm doing I++. That do not process this next value because I have already changed the middle one. And that's how I reach to the next point. And this is what is happening in here. I am making sure that I'm incrementing my issues whenever I discover a value, but also I'm making sure that if the next value is also causing an issue, I'm making sure I do not increment my value in that case, because in that case I assume that the middle one itself got changed. I changed the middle one itself, and that's how the string that I was looking for, the non-consecutive, non-adjacent almost equal character, is now fixed because I have fixed the middle value. That's what I'm doing here. And there is just one condition that I'm checking at the end, that let's suppose I'm at Z, right? I don't know whether Z and E is equal or not. In that case, what I'll do, I'll check whether the last character is equal to the I minus 1th value. So that's what I'm checking. Are these equal or are these almost equal? If it is, then increment my issue by 1 more time, else do not increment it. And in the start also I did something similar, that if my length is equal to 0 or 1, then I do not have to worry about anything. I can just return 0. But if it is equal to 0, I will again have to check if these are equal, or if these are adjacent equal, or if these are if any of these conditions are true, then I'll return 1 because we will have to change one of them. else we will see that we will never go inside this for loop, because this for loop is running from 1 till 1. In that case, if my length is equal to 2, 1 till from 1 to 2 minus 1, that is 1. So this for loop will never be true, and this condition will never be true, and I'll just directly return my issue to be 0 if my length is equal to 0. And if my length is equal to 0, then I'm already returning 0, and if it is equal to 2, then I'm processing it anyways. And if it is more than 2, then comes the picture where we are making sure that we are picking up the middle one and changing this middle one if the next and the previous value, both of them are causing the issue. Else we can continuously go and increment my issue every time I discover a past value that is causing the issue. That's all the problem is about. And if we talk about the time complexity, then we are just traversing over the string once, so it will be of n. There is no extra space we are using. The space complexity is of 1. I'll share this code in the comment section as well. I hope this helped. Thank you.